Why are we starting in a library? Because this is the land of knowledge and experience, the foundation of innovation. Without a basis in knowledge, innovation is moot. You don't have to be an inventor in order to innovate. However, without a pre-existing idea, product, or process, innovation is impossible. What does this mean? It means whatever method we develop today, it must contain some element that presupposes existing knowledge and experience within the business. When I think of innovation, I think of cutting-edge technology firms with their treetop offices and ping-pong tables every second room. Unfortunately, I won't be speaking of the innovative glory of West Coast technology firms for the rest of the film. I'm more concerned with more relevant, less glamorous fields. For example, is there innovation in accounting? But seriously, with the advent of enterprise-wide planning systems, new government regulations like the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, and generations X, Y, and Z, innovation is not only possible, but necessary to the livelihood of both business behemoths and up-and-comers. The question is, how? Innovation is the reapplication and renewal of an unused, usable idea. This definition tends to point us to the past, where there must be an unused idea somewhere. So let's go back, all the way back to the insights of the great Greek thinking hero, Socrates. I would argue that Socrates had the most effective way of leading his students to innovative ideas. His dialectic is essentially a fancy word for analysis via conversation. That means two students mulling over a concept or idea until the best result is found. A great analogy here is pizza dough. All the ingredients are there: creativity, knowledge, work ethic. All that's required is putting it in its most functional form to make the awesome outcome that is pizza. Therefore, we need a system that has associates working, and more importantly thinking, in teams of at least two. This sounds like a mentorship program, which is not a new concept. But I do believe with proper execution, it is the most effective way of fostering innovation. At its core, we have pre-existing knowledge and experienced employees, and new perspectives in new employees, working together to build something new. However, we need to make sure that neither employee is afraid to point out silly or brilliant ideas. Eliminating this so-called fear of silliness means that the innovator must have influence over the process itself. Therefore, they must feel that they can help the process change, as well as having an outlet through which change can occur. Some of this does stem from having proper change management systems in place. However, most of it stems from the business's management culture itself. Therefore, as a manager, Peter Drucker, another heroic thinker, would say we must become adept at managing oneself. This means acknowledging your emotions and behaviors, as well as acknowledging the boundaries of your ego and how that impacts your employees, which in turn leads to an open idea culture which continuously encourages innovation. However, immediately some risks become apparent. For example, with innovation, you open the door to both successes and failures. So how do we mitigate the fear of failure as well as encourage innovation? Well, B.F. Skinner, the father of modern behavioral psychology, would say that we need to positively reinforce the behaviors that drive innovation. Therefore, both successes and failures must be viewed as opportunities to learn for the organization. Unfortunately, this is driven largely by performance metrics, and revamping performance criteria is not an easy path to take. Therefore, we should focus on both easy rewards, like compliments, as well as employee ownership on projects so they feel engaged. The second risk is the unintentional development of a brainwashing program. That is one that tries to get employees on board with current business practices. This leads to complacency and stagnation, two enemies of innovation. One way to fight against this is to make the program totally new. Maybe we could call it blue sky partners. That is, the sky's the limit with your ideas, and a partnership where knowledge goes both ways. The third risk is employees may not have the knowledge required for the process. This does not mean give learning and development free rein over the budget and hope things turn out. Training must be financially justified before implementation. However, learning and development should be viewed as a strategic partner within the organization, as they lay the basis for the knowledge foundation. Ultimately, innovation is all about ways to make your business better. It's a culture thing. It's not your products and services, it's your habits and behaviors. Innovative companies habitualize employees to question the present without fear of persecution. Fear is an all too common mode of control, especially in long vertical hierarchies. However, with the methods given today, I do believe innovation is within reach.